also have a valley, which is
Oh no.
So this is the Gethsemane, and this is where Jesus was praying the prayer of agony before he was arrested after the betrayal of Judas Iscariot. Right? So this is the one. That had
Down,
8
down,
domes
down
in the
below.
dome. There are 12 domes, by the way, but that's what you can see from here. There are 12 domes in total. It's definitely going to go there. It's go there for today. The one above it, the golden one, this is the Greek Orthodox Mary Magdalene Church. And guess who is buried in that church? No.
Is it James?
Huh? The grandmother of someone who would be coronated today as the King of England. Yes. His grandmother is buried there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Kanang yellow dome. Oh. Grandmother of kings.
In that section over there, here to the right, another landmark.
Gate of Mercy.
The gates that we have here were
That's the site of the temptation of Jesus.
I need your attention, please. So this is the place of the pools of Bethesda and the Church of St. Anne. This is the name of the place.
This is
The
St.
site
Anne's
is run by one of the Catholic orders known as the White Fathers, known as Père Blanc. They speak French because they started in Africa in the year 1868. 10 years later, they managed to get this territory from the Ottomans, from the Turks. By the way, non-Muslims during the Ottoman period, non-Muslims were not allowed to get any territory until the year 1855, when one of the Ottoman sultans, he said, we're going to do some reformations. And part of the reformation was allowing non-Muslims to purchase territory in Jerusalem. And the moment they told them yes, a huge amount of territory was purchased. A huge amount of territory. When we walk in the old city, you're going to see like one street and so many other things. Some kind of this structure. Forget about this structure. This structure is relatively new. When we say new, we mean about 900 years old. That's new for us. So what we have is what we have down there. You can see some kind of steps. You cannot really identify this because we have lots of grass, but just over there in the corner, you can see some kind of steps. There are steps leading all the way down. And these steps are steps that belong to a pool that used to serve one of the pools that we have here. And when we talk about this, this is definitely what is mentioned in the Gospel of John, chapter 5. Father, would you like that I read? Where are you, Father?
Yes, Father.
Yeah. The Gospel of John, chapter 5. Yeah, all right, we're gonna do it. All right. So, sometime later, Jesus went up to Jerusalem for one of the Jewish festivals. Now there is in Jerusalem near the sheep gate a pool, which in Aramaic is called Bethesda, and which is surrounded by 5 covered colonnades. Here a great number of disabled people used to lie, the blind, the lame, the paralyzed. One who was there had been an invalid for 38 years. When Jesus saw him lying there and learned that he had been in this condition for a long time, Sir, the invalid replied, I have no one to help me into the pool when the water is stirred. While I am trying to get in, someone else goes down ahead of me. Then Jesus said to him, get up, pick up your mat and walk. At once the man was cured. He picked up his mat and walked. The day on which this took place was a Sabbath, and so the Jewish leaders said to the man who was being healed, it is the Sabbath. The law forbids you to carry your mat. But he replied, the man who made me well said to me, pick up your mat and walk. So they asked him, who is this fellow who told you to pick it up and walk? The man who was healed had no idea who it was, for Jesus had slipped away into the crowd that was there. Later, Jesus found him at the temple and said to him, see, you are well again. Stop sinning or something worse may happen to you. The man went away and told the Jewish leader that it was Jesus who had made him well. The word of God. So that's mainly John 5. We're reading from John 5. That's a very important miracle that took place specifically here in this specific pool that we are talking about. In a moment I'm going to give you the proof. But let's try to analyze quickly these biblical verses. Jesus saw a man who was paralyzed here, invalid for 38 years. So even when Jesus was a little kid, he used most probably to see that man. He was a famous man. 38 years, paralyzed, sitting just next to the pool. Every time he was waiting for the stirring of the water, but well, he couldn't do it because he was completely paralyzed. Who would bring him in? So what did Jesus do? Well, Jesus came to him. He just asked him a simple question. Do you want to get healed? Maybe you don't want. You're enjoying it just sitting here. Yes, I want to get healed. All right. So what did Jesus do? What did Jesus do? Oh, he told them, hey guys, there have been a man here waiting for 38 years. Please move to the side and let him enter when the water will get stirred. No, he didn't say that. Jesus didn't need that stirring of water to take place in order to let that man jump in the water. He didn't tell him, hey, get ready. Now when the water is stirred, it's your turn. You're gonna jump. No. Or I want to help you to jump. Stirring of water to take place. And what happened afterwards? Did Jesus do what you are doing right now? Like, did Jesus tell him, just get your mat and walk? That's what he did. And when he healed him, did he take a selfie with him and saying, I am the one who healed him? No. Everything, he kept just a low profile. He healed him and he disappeared from among the crowd. He didn't say, I was the one. He didn't do that. He did so many miracles. Your actions talk, not your tongue. You can talk and talk and talk and talk. Well, that was not the way Jesus wanted things to be done. Jesus delivered the message in the Sermon on the Mount, in several parables. He talked about so many things, so many events, but he never talked about his actions. He did things, and it's you who would see these things. And despite of everything that he did, people didn't believe in him. Most of them, they didn't believe in him. Doing such miracles, multiplication of the fish and the loaves, feeding so many people. Many people still didn't believe in him. The Pharisees, they usually used to say, it's not him, that's magic, it's not him, it's not him. He's trying to deceive you. And well, they used to believe in these people, and they were really having ears, but they couldn't hear. They had eyes, but they couldn't see. That's exactly what was happening. Now, when we talk about this, what is the proof that this is the place? That's the question. Here we are located in a very strategic place just next to the Temple Mount. So when Jesus went to the temple, he always used to see that paralyzed man here, just next to the temple. It's where we had the temple, the first and the second Jewish temples, the temple that Jesus definitely used to go to, where he was preaching in the temple, where he was lost in the temple when he was a young boy. It all happened here, just over there, in a few meters from here. And one more thing. Carbon dating and Byzantine period, we had a church here. And again, every time when I say Byzantine period, that's the first chance to build a church to commemorate an event. Because before that, we had the persecution. And what does it say? This is the tombstone of the diacon of the Probatike. Probatike is the same name of the pool that we have here. So even the Byzantine, the early Christian, they acknowledged this site as the site where it took place. And one more thing, which is definitely the most interesting, at least for me as a guide, is just down here, they did some excavations, like some vertical shafts. And what did they find here? They found a temple for Asclepius. Who was Asclepius? The god of medicine in the Greek and the Roman period. And he had the symbol of a glass with the serpent around it, which is the symbol of the pharmacy, which is used in doctor and so on. So this is known as the continuation of the cult. That's it. That's continuation of the cult. When you have the same place being used for healing, here and here and here, and Jesus did a healing miracle here. So this adds to the value and the theory that it took place exactly here. I personally believe that yes, it took place here. And I'm straightforward with you, right? I know that you want me, sometimes you are expecting to see all the authentic places. I told you, Mary most probably was not born there, but here we are sure that here Jesus held the healing miracle. And please have a look here. You can see here an apse of a church, and this apse dates back to the Crusader period. So we have a church here from the Crusader period, another church from the same Crusader period. So both churches were at the same time. Why? Why two churches in one single place? Why would you have two Crusader churches from the same time in one single region? What? 50 meters away. So why would you have that? I was waiting to see, sorry for those I'm turning my back to, but I feel more comfortable just explaining like this way. So, ego homo, here is the man. That's exactly what Pontius Pilate said when Jesus was tried. You know, we had Jesus, we had Barabbas, who was the other man, who was the really guilty one, and he was free, and everybody was waiting when Jesus went out while he was holding the cross, and Pontius Pilate was pointing to him. He said, "You is the man." So why is this called Ego Homo? The place is called Ego Homo because it is believed that after the trial of Jesus, which is a few meters to that side, we just passed by it again and return back in a moment. It's where Pontius Pilate was standing and pointing to Jesus, "Here is the man." So that's why the place is referred to as the Ego Homo, just connecting the biblical narrative with what we have here. In order to understand where we are now located, as we were just walking by the doors, I was telling you, we have a door, and that's on purpose, just to let you know that where we are exactly. So looking at this, now it's a bit problematic for you. So looking at this, you can see here the place where we are now located. So Antonia Fortress is in this area. And we are very close, we are in the boundaries, let's say, of Antonia Fortress in the time of Jesus. So it was the fortress that was in this side, which is the northern side, and it was protecting the whole Temple Mount. Antonia Fortress is named after Mark Antony. Mark Antony, yes. Mark Antony was the lover of Cleopatra, exactly. So Mark Antony is, this is the fortress that we're talking about, and you can see the sheep gate. We just read it in the Bible a moment ago, sheep gate. Next to the sheep gate where we have the pools of Bethesda. Here are the pools of Bethesda. We do have two pools. One is older than the other, but the pool I pointed to is the pool where the miracle took place. Because the other pool is a bit further inside, you cannot see it, and it's from a later period. It was called the pool of Israel, and it's exactly where we had the first entrance that I pointed to Al-Aqsa Mosque, but I told you here we had the police outside and so on. It's where we had the pool that we're talking about. And just here, down here, we have a pool. It's called the Struthians pool. This is where we are going now in a moment. We're going to be down, underground, in order to see one of the secrets of the city of Jerusalem. One of the secrets of the city of Jerusalem is what we're going to be saying here in a moment. Now, what I would also like to show you, I would like to introduce you to this map. That's a mosaic floor that was found in Jordan, in a place called Madara. And it goes back to the 6th century. And what does it show? It shows a significant part of the Holy Land for tourists, for pilgrims, who used to come through Jordan. They used to step or visit a church, that was called St. George Church in Madara, dating back to the Byzantine period. And just at the yard of the church, at the entrance, they built a huge mosaic so that people would see where they are heading to, and so on. And this is just the Jerusalem section of the Madara map. And this is the section that we are talking about. And here you can see a gate, and this gate has a pillar. This is Damascus Gate. As I told you, it's called the Gate of the Pillar. Damascus Gate is towards north. So that's the way you need to look at it. Now, maps in ancient times used to face east and not north. The north direction, the north reference, started only later on in the Byzantine period. So all the maps, they used to face east. And this map is definitely, this is the east in this case, and this is the north that we're talking about, so it's a little bit tilted. And from Damascus Gate, you have one cardo here, one cardo down here. The word cardo means an ancient road that connects between the north and the south of the city. In every Roman city, you will be having at least one cardo. In Jerusalem, we have two cardines. The planification of the city of Jerusalem in this map, and what we have today, even in the year 2023, is from the time of Hadrian. To serve the soldiers in the Antonia fortress. So that was the main purpose of the tool. The water coming to this tool was water coming from Damascus, and diverted to some of the canals over this place. And the side of the tool that you see here is not the exact side. What you see here is actually about half to 60% of the whole area of the pool that we're talking about. So the pool was much bigger and it has at a certain phase. That's exactly what happened. Now, what we are talking about, we're talking about someone who, let's say, knew about this pool for the first time a long time ago, and definitely we're talking about Bethesda, who was maybe the founder of this order here. Those up, please get down because you're preventing others from continuing. Just continue walking down the steps. So what happened is that it was a very big place, and it was all dark. And the sisters in the monastery here, they weren't really happy having such a huge place that wasn't right. Just let me please translate first. Thank you. So here you can see the extension of the construction that we have here. And part of the water canal, which is just below us. Here it is.
Oh, yes.
And here you can see part of the bedrock. This is part of the bedrock of Jerusalem, this big stone that you can see. And you can see very clearly this is being chiseled by human beings. That's not karstic process of the rainwater, no. You can see the chiseling here very clearly. So that was all chiseled by human beings to make this pool. Yes. Oil lamps. Some kind of stones, statues, vessels, mosaics, and this very famous Roman glass. This is the Roman glass that we are talking about. So they can make all kinds of things for tell them like, I'm here with you in year 2, all right? So yes, so that was something really common at that time. The Roman, and they make jewelry out of them. They're really nice, like wearing a
Wow.